I'm about to use ListEasier to list all these items using the ListEasier Flex. Get a good test of what works, what doesn't. That's the one thing I don't even know what it is. Got a sterling silver pendant. I think it's sterling silver. Yeah, sterling silver. We got a Pokemon book. Got some 1960s baseball cards. We got a little corgi. Got this promo poster. Got a magic card. We got a bolo tie. We got a Swarovski pin. Some antique reading glasses. Pokemon pen set. Got some Shriners. Leprechaun. I'm gonna lot those up, see what it says. And I got the Incredible Hulk versus Wolverine graded comic here, graded at a 9. And we're gonna see how this Flex performs with a wide variety of items. I'm gonna take pictures of these, keep track of how long that took, along with completing the listings using ListEasier. And I won't record the photo process, but I will be screen sharing using Flex as like a second time user. I used it once last night. I'm gonna use it again tonight, and we'll get a real feel of how fast and accurate it is with these random items. I used the batch last month, did 1,000 listings using batch. Worked out pretty well. Now I want to try hitting the old death pile. Alright, so it took me 22 minutes to take photos of 13 items and inventory them and weigh a few. I have them all the items I took photos of I have in front of me, so I'll be able to use the SKU and to use the calculated shipping, so there's no mistakes there. That's kind of the method that I just thought of as I was doing it. I used Flex last night for a couple items, kind of did the same thing, but I didn't write them down. I inventoried them after I did ListEasier, but I thought it'd be easier to go ahead and photo them, inventory them, write them down, which did take some time. Might have took about a total of a minute or two during my 22 minutes I calculated for doing the photos. But anyway, that's just how I did it. I did name, inventory, how much it weighed. Alright, I'm back. The screen recorder I decided to use does not have a pause button, so I might be doing this in little segments, kind of watching the baby as I'm doing this. So I had to jump up and see what was going on. Now everything's all good. We're gonna get back to it. I said there was 13 items. There was actually 15 items. You've seen what I took pictures of. Now I already loaded those photos onto my computer from my phone using an app called Local Send. It's very easy. It wasn't like amazingly fast, but it only took about I would say 20 to 30 seconds for those all, for me to select them, move them over, and to save onto my computer. So we're at about 23 minutes. I'm going to start a timer to see how long we can get the rest of these listings made using ListEasier. Now I do want to say I have used ListEasier using batches, which is a lot more productive. You got to have a lot of the same type of item. Inventorium was a lot quicker too. Instead of having to write this card down every time, I would do them in batches of 15 or 20 or 10 or whatever, and they'd all have the same SKU. So I'm making new inventory housing for them as I was going through. So listing in batches is definitely a lot quicker and maybe even more efficient. There is one tool that I like using Flex. It's the price easier option. Sometimes the prices are way off the wall. Sometimes you might have a unique item and they kind of head you in the right direction. We're going to use it for every item. So here is my dashboard on ListEasier. And the thing you want to do is hit create listing. You can do batches or you can do list flex. So we're going to start flexing on them, and we're going to get started with these. Any item, any category, no setup. When you do batches, you select the category before you do your listings. List flex, you load the pictures up, they select the category for you and everything after that. So you can do a lot of different items instead of having to stick into one item using batches. That's kind of the holdback. That was the first holdback of ListEasier, was people couldn't go through their death pile with any old item randomly all at once. Now you can. So let's get started. Looks like they have some photos, leftover photos from last time. We're going to delete those. I think they might have just been extra photos, or maybe I might have not made a listing for that. The baby's making noises. Let's go see, and we'll pick up from here. Right, back in action. Let's go ahead and hit upload images. So we're going to select all the images that we want. Cool. Looks like they have them all right here. I'm going to go from bottom to top, because that's kind of how I made my card here. Start with the Magneto poster and we'll end it with the magic card. Alright, so let's open all those, selected all those. Now, yesterday after I uploaded all my images, I think I selected all the items at once and hit the button that's called generate listings. And I didn't find it too effective because they were automatically grouping the photos together, and I noticed that they would take like one or two photos from another item onto a listing, and my photos were all jumbled. They didn't correctly identify the item. So I found it easier just to kind of do it on your own. Select the photos, as you'll see I'm about to do. So I'm going to select all the X-Men poster photos. I took a ruler picture, so hopefully it'll figure that out. Then let's hit create listing now. All the items I just selected, it threw into one listing. Now you can do, up here you see 10 at a time. We're going to do one at a time. As far as, actually we'll do 10. But this just part I found easier just to select it yourself and hit create listing again. It's going to jumble all those photos into another listing, and we'll do it again. Now when I did this yesterday, as I was saying, I selected all like 150 items, and I hit this button up here that said AI listings, or maybe I hit create listings, and it jumbled up all my photos. So that's why I'm doing it like this. It would be a lot quicker to do it all at once, but not really though. Another thing I didn't like is I can't drag and click like I did when I uploaded my photos. I can't do that selecting these photos, which I was surprised I couldn't do. Okay, so now we got 5. And anybody watching, thanks for bearing with me. Kind of a YouTube noob, and something I will work on and try to get better. This was a cool pendant. It had sterling silver. All the metal was basically sterling silver and had a really cool abalone shell to it. So I'm curious to see how well flex performs with this one. So we got 7. Also, this is probably the best item, the most valuable item, maybe, is the graded comic. Besides that pendant, we'll see. This item, I don't even know what it is. Some type of tool machinist would use. It's like some type of meter. Right, and we're going to do one more of the Pokemon book. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this in the future. Books are just so fast to list as it is, especially anything with a barcode. I don't think I'm going to have to use ListEasier for, because it's just, I'm still up in the air on that. On doing at least valuable books. I could see using this to do cheap books and maybe cheap DVDs. Alright, so now we got them all into their little listings. Let's pause. Made the 10 listings. So it's got all the photos that I grouped together, starting with the posters listing 1 all the way down to that last item, which was a graphic novel at listing 10 and all in between. Next thing you can do, only thing you really can do here, is AI categorization. You could do it manually too. Not going to try it. I'm sure it's a little bit more time consuming as well. Let's go ahead and hit AI categorization, and the computer's thinking, the ListEasier's thinking, I should say. And it looks like it's came up with categories for each one. So let's just kind of double check what we got here. They did call the graphic novel a book. I like how it didn't call it a comic. They called the meter a test meter under other test meters and detectors. They got the comic under comics and graphic novels. They got the pendant under fine jewelry, which is nice. They got the regular brooch under just regular brooches and fashion. Didn't do fine. I like that. It's got the antique glasses under eyeglass frames, so I'm curious to see the title they pick. It's not really the thing I was going for. I thought it would be maybe antiques and collectibles. They got the package of Pokemon pens under pens. They got the pin back button and pin under pinbacks, clubs, and memberships. I like that. Listing tool 2 says AI categorization failed. Please select a category manually, and that's a hard one. It's a bolo tie. So the lister did not like that one. I was curious to see how it was going to perform on that one. I didn't mention it though. And the first one, they have a poster under poster and wall. So we have to do this manually. I wonder how that works. Okay, so it's going to allow me to select a category now. So this is cool to find out how it works if you want to do it. So I hit category. You could search categories. I'm going to go bolo tie, and they do have bolo ties. They have jewelry, watches, men's jewelry, bolo ties. Then they have jewelry, watches, vintage, and antique jewelry, bolo ties. This is also a Freemason item, so I could even put it in there. I wish AI would have picked the best one for me. Should I put it in bolo ties? Should I put it in Masonic collectibles? That I really don't know. So when I put in Masonic, they have aprons, belts and buckles, books, cufflink studs, lapel pins, decal stickers, jewels and medals, mugs, cups, ornaments. They have other collectibles, patches, rings and watches. They do have ties and tie tacks. It's a bolo tie. I'm gonna go with ties and tie tacks because it also has I think somebody looking for it would also be lurking for other things related to Masonic rather than someone looking for a bolo tie, they probably wouldn't pick the one that I'm about to list. So that's my reasoning on that. Let's go ahead and save it. It's got the proper category that I want there. So now all of them have categories. We're going to go ahead and generate the listing. It's going to come up with titles for each of these ones. So let's see the titles that they kind of pick up. Now I noticed when I hit this button, they sometimes do end up changing the title. They might have thought of a better one, but let's kind of see what kind of titles we got here. So for the poster, it decided Vintage 1992 Uncanny X-Men Trading Cards Promo Poster Magneto Storm Wolverine. Magneto. I like how I had the word promo in there. They did come up with a good title here. It's 2002 Masonic Mauve Per Grotto Chuck Davis Grand Monarch Bolo Tie Native American. That's pretty juicy. Muslim Shriners Fighting for Kids. Vintage 1999 Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All. Pens. Vintage gold round wire eyeglass frames. Antique style spectacles. I like that. They did get the correct branding here. Didn't show them or name any writing. They were able to figure it out at Swarovski just by the little image of the swan on the back side, or Google Lens or whatever type of photo AI thing they're using was able to identify this brooch as the Swarovski, which is nice. Let's see what they said about this pendant. They said it's vintage Merav, Indonesia, 925 sterling silver mother of pearl black onyx pendant. Very accurate there. That's exactly all the words I would use. Credible Hawk, number 340, CGC 9, white pages, Todd McFarlane. Now I'm thinking they might change this because Josh, the founder, said hyphens are not the correct way to go. There's a hyphen in here. I did mention they might change the titles a little bit after I hit review all listings. Federal Test Model 2 dial test indicator, and they have the jeweled in there. And then they have Pokemon, Pikachu, Shocks Back, Viz, graphic novel, first printing, 1999 manga. Let's go ahead and hit review all listings after we take a short break to go check on the baby. Back in action. Man, that guy be making some funny, weird, constipation type noises, and he's in dead sleep, so that is funny. Let's go ahead and hit review all listings, see what happens next. And now here's the first listing I did. This is where it becomes more time consuming than doing it in batches, because there's a lot of things you got to refill, some things you could change. A lot of things today are going to be shipping USPS ground, except for the cards, I believe. We're going to go ahead and hit this button, apply to all, and then I'll change the cards to eBay standard envelope. This is where my little thing comes in handy, because this item weighed, or it's going to ship at 8 ounces. It folds up into like a square, so the dimensions aren't too hard. Unlike some people have a really big problem with these dimensions and what box to use. If anybody knows kind of the inside joke that I'm talking about, feel free to let me know what I'm talking about. If not, then secret's safe with me. Return policy is a 30-day money back policy. We're going to apply that to all. So every listing is now going to have this filled, the return policy. It's going to have the shipping policy filled. I'm not going to have to change that, but I am going to have to come here and entering the weight and dimensions for each item. Now, AI should have filled in all the categories for me, the description, but not the price. And I do have the SKU. Everything's going to get its own SKU. I know this is going in the poster box where I keep some posters. They don't have a price yet. We're going to use this button here called Price Easier. And they say here the price analysis is it's an average of 28.48. The median's 28.48. The sample size is 2 items. That's not that good. The more sample items you get, the more realistic or accurate this price is. Looks like the similar items they've picked are Ren and Stimpy from the 90s and Yin Yang Owl poster. So I don't know how that relates besides being a poster from the 90s. Looks like we have a sold though. Someone did sell this poster for $30 free ship. Someone sold it on offer for less than 15. And that is 2 sold. So we got 1 sold for at least, well, no more than 20. I should probably no more than 20, and then 1 sold for 30 free ship. So that's probably like $25, $23. Let's see if there's any listed. I should have just hit this button up here. There are some listed. So there's someone wants 14 for it plus shipping. Don't know if he has any holes or anything in the corners. Does have some creases, so mine's definitely better than that. This little thing's in the way. Oh, and someone has it for $21. Free shipping. Let's see if they have any holes or creases or anything like that. He only has 1 picture, so can definitely probably get more than what he's asking for. Someone's looking for 30, someone's looking for 24, someone's looking for 13. So wow, there's quite a bit here. Only 2 solds. Someone took an offer on 15. I'm gonna go $12.99. It's a lot less than the medium, the based medium. So that's kind of how figuring out what your price is. Now, if you were doing the same item batching, you can apply to all the same price. That's not really what Flex is used for, so I wouldn't want to use that. It is used. They already made a title for me. I'm not going to add anything to it. There are a few items I'm going to add a little extra description to, but most of the items I'm not. Now it has all the items specifics AI generated, and that's, I think, what's going to help it be found on the internet off eBay is this description and these AI generated item specifics. So this one's done, ready to go. We're going to move on to the next one. See how these are all red and this one's no longer red. That means that's good to go. There's no issues with it. First thing I want to do is select the SKU. Where's the SKU at again? Oh, I do that right here. So SKU is going to be, I have a drawer called Mason, and it's going to ship at 8 ounces in an 8.6 by 4. So that's how we're going to ship that. Let's see what Price Easier can come up with this bolo tie. It's got 6 items that it used as a sample size. They're thinking it's going to sell for $12.49. I'm thinking more. So poster, they were way over. On this one, I think they're way under. This is a lot better item here because the bolo tie I have has like a year on it, has somebody's name on it. That to me always brings down the value of something rather than just this one. Doesn't have a name or year on it, which I think more people would want it and want to wear it. That one that had the name on it and the city might be, relegated to just that city. So there's only one comp of a bolo tie. I've sold a bolo tie from this collection last year. I'm just getting back around to it. And I think I was getting anywhere from 20 to 30 for the ones that look like the one I have. Let's see if there's any listed. They're probably going to pull up one of mine if I have any. I have a cowboy boot one, I think. And it didn't even pull up my listed one. They have one for $2.99. It's got like turquoise in it. They got a grotto one with no tie. They have one kind of similar to mine with a leather, colored leather, and these little tassels at the bottom. I think I'm gonna do 29. I like the name, the title they used. So I think I can get $29.99 for it. Maybe even more if I did an auction. But I think $30 is fine. It's used. I'm not going to add anything to it. It's got a really nice description here. On to the next one. So this is going to ship at 4 ounces. These two buttons. 6x4. This one's going in the same location. In the mason drawer. Let's see the item they picked. Muslim Shriners Fighting for Kids 2008 Southfield, Michigan. Pin back button, the label pin. So they were able to differentiate the two, which is pretty smart of AI to do. Let's look at PriceEasier. No similar listings found. So we'll just do $9.99. I wish there was a way to add offer on here. Because I'll take anything for these two items, to be honest with you. I was just kind of testing. I think I have multiple of these buttons here in different sorts of lots, so I'll be willing to take anything for these pretty much. That's something I can go back and do, I guess, on my own, is add offer. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let's move on to the next one. This is the pen set. This is going to ship at 8 ounces. It's going to go on a 864. And the SKU is going to be K1. Let's see what PriceEasier has for us this time. 19 sample size, average price is 38, median's 19. Let's look at the sold comps. Exact item, $12.99 plus shipping. Let's see if there's any unavailable, because I have multiple of these. It'd be nice if there's none available. Oops, I should use the top thing again. Alright, so a lot of people have these items. Well, 7 people. A lot of people doing free shipping. There's bigger sets and bigger boxes. Some are loose. Someone's going for $9.99. This guy has a whole stack of them. What that other guy get again? He got $12.99. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to go with $12.99. PriceEasier has been way off so far, but it has been able to pull up some comps for me, which is quicker than me typing everything out, possibly doing it on the phone. Actually, it's not used, it's new. They're calling it rare. The description said it's rare. Nice. And this one's good to go. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back in a second. I think we just need to roll back to this real quick. I'm just trying to figure out why or how PriceEasier thought $19.99 would be a good price, because one sold for $12.99 plus shipping, but there was multiple listed free shipping for less than that, for like $9. And so I don't know why it's using such a high number. And so far, the PriceEasier suggested price has kind of been off by $10 up or down in most cases. I was just going for a little high because I'm relying on ListEasier's ability to get me seen offline, to make the offline sell. I'm not really competing with these online people anymore. I'm trying to look for the offline sale. So let's see if $12.99, see how quick it sells. If it sells fast, maybe the next one I list I go to 15, work my way up to 20 like they suggested. But I just don't see it happening. I see this item probably sitting for a while. Might have to blow them all out for $6, $7 when it comes down to it. So let's see. These eyeglasses are next. The SKU is back door, row 5. It's going to ship 8 ounce and an 864. Let's look at ListEasier, what they got in store for us. They got 50 items. Let's kind of see what the sold comps are. That's like the exact item right here. Vintage unbranded wireframe round rim gold tone eyeglasses, hippie John Lennon style. Probably that looks like some John Lennon glasses to me. The ones I have, I think, are Santa Claus costume eyeglasses, but they kind of worked a little bit as reading glasses. So let's see what people have here. They have gold filled ones, so there's a lot of competition for these styles of items. They're saying $51. I just don't see it. Somebody got 24 on a bid. I'm gonna go $24.99, and I don't think they'll ever sell, but we'll see at that price. We'll try it out. I kind of don't even want to price them that high. They're just kind of just plain. They're like uneven. They're a little bent. Screw it. Let's try $24.99. Half the price they suggested. These are a pair of classic vintage style round wire eyeglass frames. They feature a minimalist gold tone metal constructed with a saddle bridge and a traditional cable temples, curl sides for a secure fit. The lenses are perfectly circular, typical of late 19th to 20th century optics based on the measurements provided in the images. The frame width is approximately 4.5 inches. These will make an excellent addition to a collection. A period accurate costume, or can be fitted with new lenses by a professional. I like that listing, and that's kind of what I was hoping to go for, is like a costume or a collection rather than being used. I don't know if the bridge width is. They're using millimeters. Let's see what we got here. Millimeters. I mean, yeah. I don't know how inches breaks down in the millimeters, but it's about 4.5. The bridge is about, I don't know, a little less than 1 inch. But I'm gonna just roll with what they said and move on to the next one now. We're down. We got 5 down, 5 to go. The Swarovski will ship at 4 ounce in a 644. The SKU. I don't like the first picture I chose. Let's go like that. There we go. That picture's better. The other one was upside down. I don't even think I meant to. I think I took that picture and I had to flip it around, but we'll just keep it on there. I think to take it off, I would do edit images, hit that X button, and hit save edits. Alright, so we got rid of that one. SKU JB1. Let's see what they should have. A pretty accurate comp for this one. They're thinking $30. I'm hoping they pull up the same one, because every piece of jewelry is, when it's got a name brand, there's plenty more out there, and none of this one has sold, or it's not pulling up any solds using this title. Let's go ahead and clear all, see if there's any listed. None are listed. I'm sure there's plenty of this item listed. It's just there's no set name for it unless you find it on a QVC or Swarovski site. But this is one I'm going to go ahead and use the suggested price. So this happened last night too. I did a branded brooch and a non-branded brooch, and it gave me some pretty solid comps, I would say. And I'm seeing right now, we're seeing 29, 39, 35s, 25s Swarovski pins. So I think they did pick a good price. And as you see here, they had 50 item sample size, which the more sample size, the more I think accurate this price will be. We're going to just use this. The average price is 41, the medium price is 29. We'll just keep it simple and do $29.99. So that's pretty accurate, I feel, on that. And this still might be kind of high, but it's a popular brand. They make high quality brooches, so we'll go with $30. This one's pretty interesting. It's going to be shipping 8 ounces, 864. A lot of my items are 8 to 4 ounces. That's kind of my wheelhouse there. The title I did look at earlier. I like the title. This one's also going in JB1. Let's see what they came up with. 7 items. They're thinking $69 or $70, I should say. I like that comp. The exact item is a sold comp here for $33. Exact same item. They also have another one that has like a leather necklace for $40. Let's see if there's any listed. They might have went too low, especially now that silver kind of went high. Wow, there's plenty of this exact item listed. People are shooting for the moon. We got 80s, we got 220s, we got a 50, we got 90s, 80s, 79s, 49s, 50s. Looks like people are trying to. No one's going below that 50 mark. ListEasier suggesting 69. The average price is 66. There was one sold, 2 solds, one sold for 40. I'm gonna be the lowest, I think, on the market and go 49, 44.99, and that'll be how I roll with this. Let's see what the description they said. Exquisite handcrafted Bali style by Marov. I don't even know if that's the right name. Yep, people are using that name. I couldn't read it that well. AI figured it out. I couldn't read it. AI figured out what it was actually called. So that's pretty good. They got brand, they got details here. A beautiful example of Indonesian jewelry craftsmanship, perfect for collectors or as a bold fashion statement. That is true. Alright, let's see how well they did with this slab. This is going to ship 2 pounds, and I think a 15 by 10, and we can probably shorten it down to a 4. That'll be the box size. The SKU, my new shelf I didn't name yet. We're going to go with, so they think $91. They got 50 comps. Let's look at the sold comps. And wow, way off. Someone on auction got 250 for it, as and it's bids too, graded 250.50, and it could probably maybe might go for more. Someone sold it raw for 129. Someone sold it raw for 178. Someone sold it 9.6. It was signed for $7.99. Someone put it on auction for $220. It was only an 8. Someone had a 9.8 and they sold it for $1,175. 38 bids. Someone sold a 9.4 for $350. Someone sold a 9.6 signed for $610. So it looks like the signed are yellow, the unsigned are blue. There was a 7 that went for less than $240. Someone sold a 9.2 on auction. So a lot of people are doing auction and they're just not doing that well. So here we go. Here's a solid comp, 9.0 for $250. Someone sold an ungraded one for 250. Someone sold a 9.6 for 430. 9.8 for 1400, and 8 for 2. Okay, so wow, a lot of comps. Let's see what ListEasier was suggesting. The average price is 258. The median's 91. Maybe those are ungraded. And they're thinking 91, so they're definitely going to be way off on this one. Let's see what kind of the competition is right now. Competition right now, we got a 9.4 for 450. There's 56 results. Let's see what the lowest one is. Probably going to be ungraded. Okay, so this search is all screwed up now. See, it says results matching fewer words, and now it's got 499 at the top. Let's see. Let's try this again. Let's view the active comps. So there's 56 results, but when I went to sort by lowest, sometimes it does that. So we got a 9.4 for 400, 9.2 for 350, got a 9.2 for 325. So I'm thinking they had an average price of 258. It's pretty solid. I think I want to go 300 though, just 299. I think I'll be the lowest one. There's someone's trying to get 5 for the same grade. There's a couple grades that are higher than mine that are just a little bit more. I think $300 is a good starting point for this comic. That's what we're going to go with. ListEasier was only off by about $200 or so. Might have not known it was graded, but obviously it did because it has it in the title. Condition is used. I guess it's used. I thought I could do graded. Let's see if they have the grading right. So they do have a certification number. They have it as graded at a 9. Fine. It is. They have the right company as who graded it. They don't have the story title, but I'm fine with that. And we're gonna make sure this ships safely. We're gonna go 3 pounds. All right, so cool. That's a big score there. I didn't think it was gonna be that much for that comic. I had no idea. The other ones I had were coming in around 50 to 100. This one I think is a pretty popular comic at the time. It still is. Let's see what they think about this meter. This is going to ship 8 ounce in a 864. So what's this called again? Federal Testmaster Model 2. Federal Testmaster Model 2. So that's it. So it should be able to find a comp pretty easy because it has an exact name. 25 items it came up with. There's one with the whole kit and all that for 35. There's one that looks like mine for 17. There's one that looks even more like mine for 25. I think that's the exact one I have. They're going 20 on that one. So this ListEasier is kind of way off once again. What did it say? I should ask for 185. Jesus Christ. Way off twice. Well, they got one for 57. Looks like I'm missing like that little knob there. Let's go to the sold comps again. I got the Model 2. It's coming up with 0 results for what I have. Here we got the M2 here for less than 10. So some are going for high, real high, some are going for real low. I think I'm just going in the middle at 25. And I don't have much into this at all. I don't know if it works either. It's untested. Where'd I put this? I put it at back door 5. It is used. I can add a condition description. The item is untested, but appears to be in working order. That's how you can add your own description there on the condition. The little tab I hit opens up this window. It's a test indicator. Okay, last one. Pokemon thing. We have to hit I'm trying to figure out where. Oh, I have to hit this arrow here. This arrow brings up the ounces. This is gonna go 1 pound. And this is going to go media mail. So can I select media mail? There we go. It's going to go media mail. And the SKU for this is B9. What's Price Easier got in store for us? So they're saying $18.91. They should be able to pull the exact item. So it looks like this sold before graded for 50. Is that the item I have? So a couple similar ones sold for 25. Never thought about grading a graphic novel like this. So one sold for $18.95, one sold for $11 with an extraordinary amount of shipping. So I think I can get about 20 bucks for this. And what are they saying? $18.91. Seems pretty fair, pretty accurate. Ooh, they got one still bagged. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I think I can come in lower than this guy with a better shipping price. Alright, we're going to use this price here. So that's like the first one, or second one I think I used by just hitting the button. Alright, so it looks like they're all ready to go. After you do that, you hit list all items on eBay. So far this video took 18, plus I did a couple more 5-minute ones. So, plus I'm talking, taking my time. So we're at an hour now to list these 10 items using Flex. So time is not great. We're looking at like an item every 10 minutes. If I did it fast without doing the video, probably could have done it in half the time. So 40 minutes or so for 10 items. That's not bad. If I were to do batches, I could do, now they're different items and there's only 2 pictures most of the time. I could do a lot more in a lot less. Talking like 30 items in 15 minutes. Alright, so let's list all on eBay, and sometimes some errors pop up. Sometimes I might have forgot to put in a weight or something. But let's see, and after that I'm going to end the video. I did take pictures of some other things, but we could say it'll probably take an hour to do 15 items using ListEasier, start to finish, get it all inventoried, put away, pictured, and listed. That's not so bad. It speeds up my time by maybe, it probably doubles my efficiency using Flex, which is not that bad. You're gonna be able to, you can do it a lot faster than I did as well. And I was kind of taking my time. So double your efficiency for the year, you're gonna double your income. If you're doing batches, you could 5-10 times your ability. Now you're not always going to have stuff that's good for batching, but when that time comes throughout the year, you're going to do 10 times as fast. And for other items, you're going to be like 2-3 times as fast using Flex, which even 2 times or 1.5 times is worth it in the long run, considering the price and all that stuff. So looks like everything went up fine, and now we're done. And I think it's going to put me back to the page where all my pictures were. So right now all the pictures I took earlier, they're gone. They're no longer on this page. That keeps things organized for me. So now I only have one. I got the car to do, and I got 3 cards to do. Um, so maybe I'll make that a separate bonus video, not on this video. So thanks for watching. If you did watch, my name's Davey Boy Flips. I've been an eBay seller for about 6 years. My store is the Great Lakes Pirates Plunder, and I'll see you next time.